Hey, y'all, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Dickie and Donny Show presented by Business on Purpose. My name is Dickie or Sean, here with Donny, my co-host, and we are at episode 60 in the end of season 3. So my question to you, Donny, as we liberate business owners from chaos, what is the best season 3 show you've ever seen?
Man, such a good question. Golly, because you got to think for a lot of shows, season 1 is integral. Like it's what saved the trip. Season 2 is either like, yeah, we're still rocking or we have fallen off. And there are some shows where season 3 is a redemption. Yeah.
Or what trilogy? What's the best third movie?
I don't know if I've seen enough trilogies. I'll tell you what it isn't. Sandlot 2 and 3 are awful. So
Terrible.
it's not Sandlot. Sister Act didn't have a third, or that. I mean, even with its 2, it's in the conversation of best trilogies.
It was incredible.
It's so good. How to Train Your Dragon, the best trilogy of all time. It's the most explicit visual representation of the gospel that's ever been depicted, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to go with the very first thing that popped into my head for TV shows, and I had a reason for this. I'm going to say Parks and Rec for a very specific reason.
Okay.
With shows like that, New Girl, The Office, throw in even Seinfeld, Cheers, like those quick little, gosh, I love those so much. And I jump into character development and plot lines so fast, friends, that I'm like, I'm all in. It took me a long time in Parks and Rec to be in. But once I was in, golly, and it probably was season 2, but I'm going to say that one because by season 3, I was so incredibly locked. All the other shows, I was locked from the beginning. Where that one, I don't know why I kept watching it, but I did. And then all of a sudden, it was in. So I'm going to say Parks and Rec because I'm guessing season 2 or season 3 is what saved me. And now it's one of my all-time favorite shows.
Love it. That's a good answer. I didn't get into that show, but I've heard it's a fantastic.
Takes a while for my experience.
Yeah, apparently. So maybe I should just start with season 3.
Maybe.
Well,
But no, there's too much good stuff. You just don't like it. I bet if I went back and watched it, I would love season 1 and 2. But watching it the first time, it felt dry and forced, but that's literally the whole point. So then you catch on and you're like, oh, this is where we're at. Oh, it was so good. So good.
Well, Donny, as you know, our motto is appropriately unprepared. And
that's right.
Donny has jumped off a special meeting, a director's meeting, and he was late on my podcast. And so I'm just feeding him this question. He's not seen this before. And so
I don't know what we're talking about today, but Dickie does.
I do know what we're talking about. And it's the last episode of season 3. And Donny, you know, I work with a lot of businesses or a lot of people that are either buying or selling businesses. They're acquiring or exiting businesses. And my question to you is, what is a green flag if you were going to buy a business tomorrow, next week? Tell me the green flag you're looking for, at least 3 green flags in a business that are going to tell you this business has longevity, legacy, staying power. It's not just key leader dependent. So what is the green flag of diligence? You know, when due diligence typically in buying a business is quality of earnings, quality of financials, making sure it actually is a business. But what would you say, not just a red flag, but a green flag in buying a business?
I'm making notes because I immediately jumped somewhere.
Okay. For the listeners out there, we're sorry for the dead space. He is
pontificating. I'm sorry. Thinking out loud here. So at Business on Purpose, we coach through, and I like that you called it your podcast. I'm just going to skate through that. Purpose, people, process, and profit. So you say green flags. I immediately thought of one in each lane. So I'm going to tell you, if I'm looking to buy a business, whether they are on the BOP framework or not, I'm looking for something we'll focus on purpose first. If they have we would call it a vision story, but a written plan of where the business is going, a business plan, but something that is written in detail where when I ask, hey, where are we going with this business? It's not we started because I needed a job and we've been able to make some money. Like that's not a plan to me. Like that is not transferable to anybody else. So my immediate thought would be to have a written business plan. Thank you. My secretary just brought me coffee. My secretary is my wife because
What's up, Popes?
She's given me a glare because she worked for me at one point and Swore to never do it again. So purpose would be a written plan of some sort. Honestly, just the fact that they've put the plan down, that's a business that's a green flag to me. People, not only would I want to engage with their people, like, are they just genuine good people? If I were to hang out with them at a single A baseball game in Greenville, South Carolina, would they be fun to be with? But really, it would be tenure of early on employees. That would be something for me, is just, do they have people, whether they're key leaders or just still employees? But man, when I look at some of my businesses that I think are the most sell worthy, and the ones, like, if a client were to offer me their business, are the ones where the newest guy has been there for 15 years and he still feels like a rookie. Now, he's got some stuff to work through if that's the case, but that is a huge green flag. I'm just like, this is a place that has sustained an environment that is both financially healthy enough to stay alive and emotionally healthy enough to remain here. Because the reality is, if work is that rough, people will leave. So tenure of early on employees to me is a big one, a big green flag. Processes, man, this one, just any documentation, anything documented. I think now you'd find people that are like, well, we have a bunch of stuff in Google Drive. I would want to know what's in it. And if there's an attempt at organization and a structure, or Dropbox, like, I actually really like Dropbox the way it's structured, because it's very, think of when we were like learning computers and there were just folders and then there were subfolders, and now we've gotten fancy with it on the cloud and all that. If people have their stuff in one platform, that's a green flag to me. I think if they're spread too thin, we probably don't have enough in any one place. And then you get into, well, what's the login for that? Little things. But green flag would be documentation in one place. And then the profit would just be that there's been some tracking of cash within the business. You can pull a P&L, you can pull a balance sheet, you can pull a WIP report, you can pull all of the, what I'll call like the IRS financials, where they're looking at to see whether they should be in jail or not, and whether they're legal and all those things. But man, if we have a system of how we're tracking the actual cash the business has, we call that a level 2 dashboard. But it's, hey, even if you only have one bank account, like, yeah, this is how much I made in that month, but this is the amount I've had in my account on these levels. That to me is a huge green flag, because you can really see ups and downs. We see that all the time. So yeah, those would be my 4 green flags.
Man, I love that. I actually love how detailed you were on the tenure of early employees. To me, that's a very specific version of people. And then you also said tenure of early employees, but also paired with a culture that people are enjoyable, people like working with each other. There's an intangible, it sounds like, in the type of engagement that people have with each other.
It's just a green flag. I think if those things aren't present, the opposite of those aren't necessarily a red flag. Some of them are. Not having a written plan, red flag. Not having all of your documentation or some stuff documented, to me, is a red flag. Not having your cash documented, not a red flag. Just a note that very few have that, and it's so easy to install. Not a red flag, but a huge green if it's there. And I think the tenure of our employees, if you don't have tenure of early employees, there might be a huge reason. I have a client that came in, he ended up buying a business and he worked there for a while, and the business had to unlearn some unhealthy habits. So a lot of the early on tenured employees left because it's just not the same anymore. Crotchety kind of old dogs can't learn new tricks. So his business got a lot healthier when that happened. However, if you can remain in that form where it is healthy, I think it is a green flag.
That's great. That's great. I'm always amazed at how many successful businesses aren't saleable by those metrics, where I'll come in and do some discovery with a client and realize, oh, you've been in business for 15 years and you don't have a very clear understanding of how you make money. I mean, I'm like, how is it just now you're like, oh no, we're not making any money this year? That's a major problem.
I've said this before. We work with, if you don't know Business on Purpose and this is your first time engaging with us, first, welcome. We're glad you're here. Our doors are always open as long as your internet works, I guess. And 2, we exist to liberate business owners from chaos. Like, I think we have seen, Dickie, both you and I, so much movement towards clarity and so much liberation from chaos, because we've worked with clients for long enough now that I almost get shocked when I see chaos in the face again, because I'm working with chaos now, but I'm working with chaos at the levels it feels like when you're in the woods and you kick over a big log and you're like, well, that one thing's over, but now there's a million little bugs. Like, there's still chaos involved, but they almost seem like very minute, like finite things of like, yeah, let's go attack that chaos rather than we have a system of chaos and it looks like the door's closed, but it's because it's foggy. And I think you talk about someone who doesn't know where their cash. We literally teach when we're new coaches, we learn this. When you're talking to a business owner and you say, hey, about how much revenue are you making in a year? The amount of times they say, I don't really know. I don't really know. And we're asked to ask two simple questions. Well, about how many jobs do you have in a year? Oh, we have 5 jobs about every year. What's your average ticket price per job? About $1 million. So you're probably about $5 million a year. Oh yeah, I never thought of it that way. And like you hear that, you're like, well, that is as simple as it gets. But man, if I'm walking in New York City and I get bumped into by somebody and I realize that person's blind, it's not that dude's fault. Like he's just walking into a busy place and he can't see where he's going. And yet I get shocked when business owners don't know that. And yet it's like, yeah, but they're in chaos. They don't know what it means to actually like track finances. And so I think it would shock the general public. Maybe it's not, because you're probably listening to this if you're a business owner.
You're a business owner, you're like, no, we know it. Well, I think I shared this TikTok aphorism many episodes ago, but there's 2 types of fires. There's a dumpster fire and a kitchen fire. And in business, you have to put out the kitchen fire, it'll burn the house down. But you're always going to have dumpster fires going on. So if you're a business owner and you're in leadership, whether you are a nonprofit leader, whether you are a executive, CFO, yada, 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 whether you're a business owner and you make widgets, if you're in leadership and you're dealing with people and money, and you will have challenges. Now, there are always going to be dumpster fires. Now, the kitchen fires probably are the cash flow, the clear plan, the tenure of people, the culture. Those are the things that if you don't address those pretty quickly, can go sour.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Do you have any other green flags, Dickie, that stick out to you as you were thinking through this?
Green flags to me, if a business owner wants to stay on long-term and or continued participation in the business, to me, that's a very green flag. If a business owner is wanting to get out of the business quickly and just transition it on, and I'll give you 3 to 6 months. But if a business owner is going to stay on for years to share, to develop, to me, that shows, hey, I'm still invested in this and I still care about it going well. And then to have some incentives aligned with it too. So I talked to a group last week and the owner, I think, is staying on for 2 years, but it's obviously selling a huge portion of the business, but is continuing to see its success and make sure that his knowledge and understanding of the business transfers correctly. So to me, that's a clear green flag of someone who's not just invested financially, but really invested in the success. I'd say that would be a good one. I think alignment to me is pretty critical. So core values and strategic alignment.
Absolutely.
That the work they do matches the values they espouse. So if they're a certain type of business what's a good example? If you're a home builder and you don't have a value of being detailed or being thorough or completing things 100%, well, then you might have a problem with your execution and warranty department, right? So it's a conflict if your values don't reflect your type of business. So I want to see consistency and the integrity of the values matching the context of the business. And then from a profit perspective, I want to see how many times you can turn the business. So that means market, sell, deliver, get paid. And that's one turn of a business cycle. I want to see that profit and can be measured and tracked and grown. Like how, because we made $10 on this widget. Next year we make $11 or we make more widgets. I want to see how that business cycle happens, because if I can't see the product creating profit, then I don't want to be in that business per se. I mean, from a purely financial position, I can't make it better. I can't see it grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Even your way of saying that, I can't make it better. I know one of my clients purchased the business that he now owns, and he purchased it and never once thought through, am I going to try to make this better? Like his goal in purchasing the business was one of maintenance. He said, I'm purchasing this business because I think I can maintain it the longest, more direct quote. And, buying the business probably makes you a little bit more money because you have some leverage and stuff like that. But what he didn't put together is like, when you start to own a business, you start to take real ownership of it. You start to have real passions for the people and for the direction. And it went from there was this constant battle. We've tried to get him on the show before, and just timing has been tough. There's this consistent battle inside of him with, I want this business to be everything the original owner wanted it to be, but I also now see where we're leaving stuff on the table. And it was really cool. We talk a lot at BOP about stories. He had a hard decision he had to make, and he reached out to the original owner. It's the name of the company. He reached out and said, hey, here's my dilemma. This is what I'm thinking through. The guy was a mentor to him. And the guy simply responded back, I'm grateful you're requesting my feedback on this, but you're the owner now. I trust you. And it was like, it's your axe now, son. I don't need to swing it anymore. It's yours. Do what you want with it. And to watch him over the last few months grow into this business of, like, they've already taken steps. They've already had shifts in leadership, and they had a couple guys leave because of it. And he's like, I don't care. Where 6 months ago, if you would have told him someone was leaving, he would have been real scared. But there's
changed core values based on that, didn't they? Yeah,
they did. They changed. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They changed his core values.
Are you proud that I know your clients?
Yeah, it also makes me insecure thinking I talk too much about my people.
No, maybe you're that good, and you've just shown all your great work. Yeah,
it's not me. I will bring you to the mouth of the river. It is your job to drink.
Drink deeply, my son.
I just watched the first Lord of the Rings. Speaking of trilogies, I've never watched them. I just watched the first one. Very good. I also looked up the best third scene of any TV show ever. There's a lot of names on that list.
The best third scene or season?
The best third season. Parks and Rec was on the list. So
just a little tidbit about Dickie. I went to the Lord of the Rings in the theater twice, the first one and the second one, and I fell asleep both times. And now I was probably in high school or college. I don't remember how.
I mean, they're almost 4 hours.
It's ungodly long.
But I'll tell you what, had I went to that first one live, not knowing it was a trilogy, I would be devastated, because they get to the step of Mordor. And also, you want to talk about one of the best scenes. I'm going to use this. We have a live event coming up. I'm going to talk about the point of people. And now I can talk about my whole life. I've heard people talk about Lord of the Ring references. I've never understood them. And now we got
my precious
Frodo Baggins finally gets in a boat and is paddling away, going to Mordor. And Sam, wise Ganji, is running after him. And he says, it's my battle. I got to go alone. And Sam says, I know you do. And I'm coming with you. What, like, you want to talk about a relationally beautiful scene of just, golly, like, yeah, I know you got to do it alone. And I'm coming with you. God.
Got to have people like that. Season 3, give me the top hits. I want to hear what they are.
Let me pull it back up. There was Lost. A lot of people's answers Lost.
She's probably seen that show 3 times.
Never watched it.
Lost.
Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones has come up, like, apparently Game of Thrones season 3.
Incredible.
Breaking Bad is in there.
I didn't get past that. It was a bit dark for me.
Yeah, Breaking Bad season 1. I caught myself. I couldn't stop watching, and it was too dark for me.
Yeah.
The Wire has been in quite a few lists I've looked at. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is Mad Men on there? I would have said Mad Men's one of my favorite shows of all time.
The Shield is on. Mad Men is not, as far as I can see. The Leftovers, Succession, and Game of Thrones, according to Google's AI, across all the lists.
Succession is maybe darker than Breaking Bad. There is no redeeming quality in that show. And I like shows about business and money and power. And I watched that show and thought, I hate all these people. I don't like any of them. Have you seen it?
No, you didn't sell it well to me. Anyways,
I tried to watch it. What are you trying to get off? We got another meeting to go to.
Business on Purpose exists to liberate business owners from chaos. We also stick to our times because your time's important. So your time is so important. You should go listen to more of these immediately. That is it for season 3, Dickie. It has been real and it's been fun, and it has been real fun. So season 3 is in the wraps. Will season 4 happen?
20 episodes, the top 10 challenges of business owners coming up. We're going to have a specific business owner for every one of these next 10 episodes, which I am so excited about.
Say that out loud forces us to get that. So
I've already got it. Labor shortage and workforce productivity, number 1. Cost estimation and bidding accuracy, number 2. I've already.
But you said a specific business.
Oh, I don't have those people yet, but I do have the titles.
Okay. Well, it's been fun.
All right.
Your shirt looks good. That color looks good on you. Red and green. We're the Christmas brothers. Just call us Rudolph and Prancer. See ya.